All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we have a Dallas Mavericks video for you guys. Now, I want to talk about Lauri Markkanen possibly making his way to the Dallas Mavericks. This is based off a Bleacher Report trade idea. Now, he's currently on the Chicago Bulls. Now, Lauri, you guys know I'm from Chicago, so I have a lot of opinions on Lauri Markkanen. But Lauri's about to become a restricted free agent. If you don't know what that means, basically any offer that another team gives Lauri, the Chicago Bulls can match it and then sign him. So let's say you have the Dallas Mavericks. They offer him a contract, let's say 3 years, $30 million. The Bulls have the opportunity to match that. And personally, I think that they will. And I think that whoever offers Lauri Markkanen will try to negotiate a sign and trade. I think the Bulls will try to negotiate that as well, try to get some value for Lauri Markkanen. And I do expect Lauri's contract to be somewhere around 3 years, $35 million. I think that's reasonable, but it might end up being a little bit more like 40 to 45 million. Going for like 15 mil a season is probably what might end up happening. Lauri on his career is a 15.5 points per game, 11 points rebounding, 15.5 points per game, and 7 rebounds per game. Now, I don't really necessarily like the fit at all of Lauri on the Mavericks, but I do think Lauri is a solid bench piece, and they could bring him in off of the bench to get some more scoring, or whatever team ends up making a Lauri Markkanen move, a sign and trade move, whatever happens. I do think Lauri should be coming off the bench, at least until further notice. I mean, he's just not ready to start. You would think a 7-foot dude averaging 7 rebounds per game in his career would be a better rebounder, but no, you're mistaken. This season, he only averaged 5 rebounds per game, just a little over 5 rebounds per game. It just was not crashing it. He wasn't aggressive. He was settling for threes, and it's just not what I was expecting of Lauri Markkanen this season as a Chicago Bulls fan. So one deal I think that the Chicago Bulls and the Dallas Mavericks could make, and this is another reason, is I don't even know if the Mavericks would want to do this trade anymore after the way Brunson's looked games 1 and game 2 of the playoffs. I mean, he's been a huge factor in both of the wins. So one move I think that they could make is just a straight-up swap Lauri Markkanen for Jalen Brunson. Now, any sign and trade that the Chicago Bulls are involved in with Lauri Markkanen, you got to remember it's not going to be worth like much. Like, I'll use some more compare. If he were to go to the Spurs, a player I would expect in return is like Lonnie Walker. So you're not really getting, you're not going to get like a superstar. You're going to get hopefully just a young player with some potential, and that's what Jalen Brunson is to me. So Lonnie Walker is to me. But as far as the fit on the Dallas Mavericks goes, I mean, Kristaps and Lauri, they can't play together. That wouldn't work. I mean, that would not work whatsoever. Both players, KP and Lauri Markkanen, they both need a big-bodied center in order for it to really work. Lauri doesn't like playing center. Not sure what KP likes and doesn't like to do, but I would have to imagine he doesn't like playing center as much. I mean, you're just getting bullied the entire game, and Lauri isn't the biggest guy. Yeah, he's 7 foot, but he's not the strongest dude on the court. So it makes sense. He doesn't want to get bullied, bodied every single game. Makes total sense. But what you're going with Lauri Markkanen to me is you're going with a little bit more potential. Now, he's only 23 years old. That's the crazy part about it. He had his best career season his second year. He averaged almost 19 points per game and a total of 9 rebounds per game. So he's almost 19-9 in just his second year at 21 in the NBA. Now, injuries kind of derailed him last year. Injuries derailed him this year. That's why I'm hopeful for Lauri Markkanen, and I still think that there is hope. I don't think he was playing injured or anything like that, but I think just all the missed time, I mean, it definitely did not help. It's not going to help anything. So Lauri Markkanen to the Dallas Mavericks, whatever team, Lauri to the Spurs, Lauri to the Knicks, whatever team gets Lauri Markkanen, I think that they're fully just invested in the potential. Now, the Chicago Bulls, that's one of the reasons I don't see them retaining Lauri because they've already dealt with him for 3 years, 4 years. They've already tried to figure him out the last 2 seasons. He just hasn't had a good last 2 seasons. He started the season off pretty good with the Bulls, and then he got hurt. So is that another issue? Like longevity, is he injury prone? I don't particularly think so. He's only 23 years old, but he is a 7-foot guy, so that is something to keep in mind. But he's a little too young to be injury prone in my eyes. I think just unfortunate turn of events the last 2 seasons. So Lauri's got loads of potential. I don't think that it would be best on the Mavericks. I think it would be very perfect on the Spurs, actually, which is funny because that's, the Mavericks rival and it's a Mavericks video, but I think it would be best suited on the Spurs. On the Mavericks, man, they need a big body. They need a big body center, and hopefully KP comes back to the Dallas Mavericks as well, and they don't even need to think about it. But in a world where KP were to say, hey, get me out of here, Lauri Markkanen could be a good, safe backup option that you will be able to get for cheap because he did not have a good season. He wanted like $20 million going into the season. Well, guess what? He's not going to get $20 million. So that's going to be it for today, guys. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, hit that sub button, and we'll see you guys later.